So friends, let's start with today's lovely prawn chili fry recipe. Now I'm going to be using 1 cup of prawns which I've cleaned, deveined, 1 medium onion chopped fine, about 1 inch of ginger chopped fine, about 4 cloves of garlic chopped fine, 2 green chilies cut into fours, 1 tomato cut fine, and half a cup of coriander. Also, I'm going to use some haldi powder, some chili powder, and some salt. Now, all the ingredients with their measurements will be in the description box below. So, I'm just going to marinate the prawns with some turmeric or haldi powder, some red chili powder, and some salt, and I'm going to mix it really well, and I'm going to set this aside for about 10 minutes so that the prawns get nicely flavored with the spices and the salt. So after 10 minutes, our prawns are ready to be used. So now I'm going to heat 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan, and once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add these prawns to the oil, and I'm going to fry them really well on a low to medium flame. So this should take you not more than a minute or two, because prawns really get cooked really fast and fry also very fast. So once they're ready, just take them out in a bowl and set them aside. I'm not using the very large size prawns. These are the between small and medium size prawns. They are full of flavor and they just taste amazing. Now in the same pan, I'm going to add, these are the prawns that I've set aside. So the oil is nice and hot. So to the same pan, I'm going to add my chopped up garlic. Then I'm going to add the chopped up ginger. Next, I'm going to add the green chilies. Now, I always like to use light green chilies, and I've cut them up into fours because they're less spicy yet they're full of flavor. Now, I'm going to fry all of this well till the rawness of the ginger, the garlic goes away. So this should take you about half a minute. You'll get the lovely aroma of the ginger and the garlic and the green chilies. Now once that is done, I'm going to add my chopped up onion. So I've taken a medium sized onion, and I'm going to add that, and I'm going to fry the onion till it turns a little bit translucent. And once it does, I'm going to just cover and cook it for about a minute. Now saute everything well. Now I'm going to add my chopped up tomato. So I've just taken 1 medium sized tomato and cut it up, and I'm going to add that. Then I'm going to add a little bit of the coriander that we chopped, because it really adds a lovely flavor to this bagar. Next, I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of haldi powder. Now, we already marinated the prawns with, 1/4 teaspoon of haldi powder. And I'm going to add that, and I'm going to also add a pinch of red chili powder. Because the haldi powder, when you add it to the bagar, it adds a lovely color. And the chili powder also makes it a little bit spicy. Not over the top spicy. And again, we're going to cover and cook this for another minute, because we want our tomatoes to be nice and cooked. And now everything looks great. So now we're just going to add our fried prawns. The aroma in my kitchen is just unbelievable, and it makes me so hungry. I just can't wait for this to get ready. So now just add the prawns and just fry everything together so that everything, gets well incorporated together. Well, I love to have this prawn chili fry just with some plain chapatis, Goan chapatis. I have a recipe for that. I'll link it below. Or you can have this with some Sorak rice with some lovely mango pickle at the side. So I'll link all those recipes down. So if you want to go and make Sorak, you want to make a mango pickle, you can, do that. And now I'm just going to turn off the heat, and I'm just going to add the remaining coriander. Now this coriander also adds a lovely, lovely flavor to this chili fry. And that's it, guys. This chili fry is all ready, and it tastes just amazing. So if you haven't ever had Goan chili fry, prawn chili fry, then you have to give this recipe a try. Do let me know in the comments section below how you like this recipe. I love hearing from all of you and I reply to almost everyone. So I'll catch you soon in my next video. Bye. Going to need 1 cup of flour or maida, half a cup of corn flour, 1/4 cup of clarified butter or ghee, some salt to taste, and water as needed to make a nice soft and firm dough. So now I'm going to add both the flours, that is the plain flour as well as the corn flour, to a bowl. Next, I'm going to add some salt to taste. I'm also going to add the ghee. And now with my fingers, I'm just going to rub the ghee into the flour really well so that we coat each and every part of the flour with this ghee. So take your time with this and just crumble it as you go. And you should be able to hold it like this. It should all come together like this. You should be able to hold it like this. And now we're going to add a little water at a time and make a nice firm dough. Now I used about I think 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. And once our dough is formed, we're just going to add a few drops of ghee. And again, we're going to knead this dough really well. So take your time with this, about 4 to 5 minutes. Knead the dough because we want the dough to be really nice and elastic and easy to work with. Also, the prawn puffs will come out really crispy and crunchy if you really knead the dough well. And now you should just, if you press your fingers into it, you get this kind of a dent or a mark. And now we're just going to roll the dough up and keep it aside for at least 15 to 20 minutes minimum. So while the dough is resting, let's work on making the filling. Now for the filling, we need the following ingredients. Here I have 1 cup of fresh prawns which I've deveined, washed. This is 1 medium onion, chopped fine. 1/4 cup of fresh coriander leaves, chopped fine. 1 green chili, chopped fine. This is about 6 to 7 cloves of garlic, chopped fine. 1 inch of ginger, chopped fine. And 2 teaspoons of vinegar, or you can substitute it with lemon juice. This is 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder, half a teaspoon of pepper powder or miri powder, and 4 to 5 fresh curry leaves that I've just chopped up fine. We also will be requiring a little salt to taste. And so now we can start making our filling. So now in a pan, I've heated about 2 teaspoons of oil. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to first add the ginger, the garlic, the green chili, and I'm going to saute these 3 ingredients really well until the rawness of the ginger and the garlic goes away and the garlic turns a little bit brown. We're going to saute it. Then I'm going to add the onion. We're going to fry the onion also very well. So if you chop everything really nicely and finely, the filling really, comes to the perfect consistency. We don't want big pieces of ginger, garlic and onion, because then when we are putting it into the dough, it does tend to, cause a problem. So better to cut it very fine. So now I'm going to add the turmeric powder, the pepper and the curry leaves, and again saute everything really nicely for about 2 to 3 minutes till everything comes together really nicely. Now I'm going to add the prawns. Now if you want, you can even chop the prawns up into smaller bits. And now we're going to mix everything well. We want to fry the prawns and cook the prawns at this stage. So we'll fry the prawns really well. Now I'm using medium sized prawns, so I've cut them up into halves. You can also use the smaller prawns. And now when the prawns are cooked, they will actually curl up a bit and turn to a denser or a thicker white color. From a transparent color, they turn to a thicker whitish color. So we're going to saute all of this for 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm just going to flavor it with some salt. Now I use Himalayan pink salt. It's good for health, and it is really nice to use. So I'm going to now add the chopped up coriander. Mix everything really well together. Turn off the heat after you add the coriander. After you mix everything well. And you can see that the filling has now reduced in size because everything has come together really well. And now once the flame is turned off, I'm going to add the vinegar or the lemon juice. Whatever you like to add, you can add either vinegar or the lemon juice. So our filling is ready. I'm just going to transfer it to a bowl and let it cool completely. And now is the fun part. Once our mixture is nice and cool, all we have to do is make these beautiful prawn puffs. So now I'm going to make small balls out of the dough. Just roll them between the palm of your hands. This dough is so easy to work with. It's very elastic and really nice to work with. So now I've made balls. Again, I'm going to make them into halves, as you will see. Then I'm going to apply a little bit of oil onto my rolling surface. I'm not going to add any flour because then when you're frying it, the flour gets into the oil and becomes a big mess. So just apply a little bit of oil and then just roll it out into a small little circle. Just like what you would do with moris or karanjis. And then I'm just going to place a little bit of the filling, say a teaspoon roughly. Don't overfill it and don't underfill it either. And then I'm just going to fold it over like this. Seal the edges by pressing it down. Then I'm just going to pick it up, press the edges, and then just seal them by making this particular pattern. Now I'm doing it this way because I find that the puffs get really well sealed and there's no chance of the filling coming out. But otherwise you can also cut them like you would with a nori or a karanji using a cutter. But I found that this was much better. So in this way I made all the puffs. Now if you want to make more, you can always double or triple the quantity of all the ingredients, depending on how many you want to make. And you can shape them in whatever way you want. And just for fun, the last one I like to make it into this little ball or potli or pouch or whatever. I couldn't think of a name. If you can think of something, let me know in the comment section below. I couldn't think of a name, but it is so cute and I didn't want to waste any of the dough, so I just made this small thing. And then now all we have to do is just deep fry them till they're nice and golden brown in color. Now alternatively you could bake these also. So for that you'll have to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes and then put a baking paper onto the tray. Then just brush this with a little oil or butter or ghee and then bake them on both sides for about 5 to 7 minutes on 180 degrees Celsius. That's it. But somehow these fried ones are more crispier, more crunchier. And just fry them and then drain them off on some kitchen napkin to drain off the excess oil. And that's it, guys. These amazing prawn puffs are all ready. Now you can also make these and freeze them. I mean, before frying them, you can freeze them for about a week or so till you want to use them, or put them in a vacuum bag and then fry them whenever needed. And our lovely Goan prawn puffs are all ready. I can't wait to dig into them. Just dip them into some ketchup or any sauce of your choice. And this is how it is inside. The filling is nice and crispy, almost like a puff pastry. So make this, guys, and let me know. So let's start with the ingredients for this lovely curry. Now here I have one small raw mango or kairi, which I've just cut up into small pieces, 4 dried red chilies, 1 small onion that I've sliced fine, 2 green chilies that I've cut into halves. This is half a cup of fresh coconut milk, but you can also use freshly grated coconut. 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds. 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Half a teaspoon of peppercorns. Half a cup of cleaned and deveined prawns. 4 cloves of garlic chopped fine. Now all these ingredients will be in the description box below. Now I'm going to add my dried red chilies, cumin seeds, coriander seeds, peppercorns, and a little bit of the coconut milk. Now if you're using freshly grated coconut, then you can add the entire half cup of freshly grated coconut. I like the flavor of coconut milk in my prawn curry rather than using fresh coconut. Sometimes I do use fresh coconut also. Now we're just going to grind this to a nice smooth paste. We're going to add our garlic cloves and a little more of the coconut milk. Now if you have added fresh coconut, that's, you just add it once, the entire thing, and you get a paste like this. So this is the masala water which we wash the mixer with, and a little bit of the coconut milk that is there. Now I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of haldi powder, turmeric powder. I don't like adding my turmeric powder to my mixer because it discolors the mixer pot, the cover of the mixer pot. So I always add my haldi powder later on and mix it well with the masala. So now I'm going to heat my pot. Now this is my traditional Goan mud pot, which I love to make my fish curries in, or my sorak in. I'll leave a link to all my Goan recipes down in the description box below. There are many of them, so you can go and check it out. Now once the pot is nice and heated up, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add my green chilies, which I've cut into halves, and my onion. Now I like to work with light green chilies because they're not very spicy. Now just bagar this nicely till the onions and the chilies get nicely fried. Now we're going to add our masala paste that we ground. Now you can also, instead of the dried red chilies, you can also use the Goa red chilies that you get, which is very difficult to get here in Bombay or Mumbai. So I'm substituting it with, Kashmiri red chilies. Now fry the paste well. When I go to Goa, I try to stock up on all the lovely Goan ingredients that you get only, especially in Goa, like the Goa jaggery. I mean, you do get it in Bombay too, but I like, when I go to Goa, I like to stock up on all of the stuff that the authentic stuff that you get in Goa. So now I'm going to fry this masala paste, and I'm going to add the masala water and just stir everything nicely. So you can add how much ever water you want depending on how thick you want this curry. Now I have a little bit of the coconut milk left, so I'm just going to add that too. I like the lightness of the coconut milk over fresh coconut for some reason, and then some water because I wanted a little more water required, but you can adjust it as per your liking. And now we're going to add the kairi or the raw mango. Now, generally, if you don't have, generally we add tamarind, like in Sorak, we add the tamarind pulp or the tamarind water. But now since I'm adding, the raw mango, if I add tamarind, then it will become extremely sour. But of course, if you like the taste of tamarind, you can go ahead and add a little more tamarind water. But I guess this kairi really, sours up the curry so well that you don't need to add tamarind. Now I'm just going to flavor it with some salt to taste. Stir in the salt well. And like I was saying, down in the description box below, which is just below this video, I'm going to list down all my Goan recipes. Now I'm going to add the prawns. Mix it in well, and now we're going to stir everything and just let it simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes on a low flame till everything cooks really, really well. Like I remember my grandmother, we used to have this fire, cook on the fire, and she used to simmer the curries on a very low fire for a long time, and it used to really make the curries beautiful. And now you have the beautiful taste of the prawns and the raw mango, which is just divine. And the longer you keep this curry for in the refrigerator and make a little bit hot every day, it tastes amazing. I recently uploaded my prawn and bindi caldeen recipe. You can go and check that out. I also put my Goan prawn chili fry recipe. You can go and check that out. So go in the description box and just click on whatever recipe you want to see, and you can check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in my next video soon. Bye. Today's recipe of prawn rice. Now here I'm just going to be nicely frying one medium-sized onion which I've thinly sliced till it becomes nice and crispy like this. This is going to be used for garnishing. Here I've just washed 1 cup of rice and I've soaked it for about 5 minutes. Now we're going to boil this rice. And this is a paste made of 4 green chilies, clove, some garlic and ginger. These are some whole spices. This is 1 medium-sized onion chopped fine. Now I've taken about 10 large prawns and I've just added some turmeric powder and some red chili powder and salt. And I'm just going to mix everything well together, and I'm just going to marinate it for about 10 minutes and keep it aside. Now I've also chopped up some fresh coriander for garnish. This is some turmeric powder, some garam masala, and also a boiled egg for garnishing. That is optional. Now here I've just heated some olive oil in a pan. Now here my rice is already ready, so I'm just going to drain off the excess water in this manner by turning it upside down over a sieve. Now I have heated some olive oil in a pan and I am going to fry these prawns till they are nice and golden brown in color. Now our prawns are almost done, and since I'm frying it in olive oil, I'm going to retain the oil because we're going to add it with the prawns to our dish. Now if you're using smaller prawns, you can use a larger quantity. I'm using these large prawns, that's why I'm using just about 10 to 11. Now our prawns are done. Our rice is also all ready. And now we're going to start making this lovely prawn rice. So I've heated 1 tablespoon of ghee in a pan. Now I like to make all my pulaos, rice in ghee rather than oil. Now I'm going to be adding my whole spices. I've listed all my ingredients in my description box below, so you can go and check it out. Now I've put the green chili, garlic and ginger paste, and I'm going to fry it out well. You'll get the aroma of the ginger and the garlic, and we're going to fry it till the rawness of the garlic goes away. Now we're going to add our chopped up onion, and we're going to fry the onion till it becomes translucent. Now once the onion is nice and done, you'll see the color changing from a pink to a whitish color. That means your onion is nice and done. And you need to fry your onion well for all, pulaos and rice. And now I'm going to add this haldi powder or turmeric powder because I want that lovely, yellow color for my rice. Now once the haldi powder also is mixed in well and the rawness is gone away, we're going to add our prawns which I fried along with a little bit of the olive oil that is there. Now, if you're using regular oil, I would suggest don't add that oil. Now I'm just going to add half the quantity of the chopped coriander. It just flavors the rice very well, and they're going to retain the other half for garnishing. Now we're going to mix everything well together. Now I'm just going to be adding a pinch of garam masala. This adds a lovely flavor to this rice. Now we've already added salt to the prawns. So now we're going to add the cooked rice and mix it in well. So what you can do is just taste a little bit of it once you've mixed everything well together. And if you feel that you need a little more salt, you can add salt, because we've already added salt when we were marinating the prawns. So just check on that, otherwise your dish will turn up very salty. So before adding any extra salt, just taste the rice first. So we're going to mix everything well together. And once everything is mixed, then you can just turn off the flame and your rice is all ready. Now we don't need to cover and cook this because the rice is already cooked. You can make this dish with some leftover rice too. So now I've just transferred it to the bowl. I've added the lovely crispy onions that we fried, and I've also added this boiled egg for, to give it a more beautiful look. So for those of you who don't like boiled egg, you can just skip that. But otherwise, here your delicious prawn rice is all ready. It's so simple and so easy to make, right friends? I mean, it didn't take much time for it to get ready. Of course, a big tip over here, don't forget to clean your prawns well. Don't forget to devein it, because if you don't devein prawns, then you'll land up with a tummy upset. So if you don't know how to devein prawns, consult somebody. There are many videos on YouTube. So you can check it out there, or I'll make a video on how to devein prawns. But ensure that you devein your prawns always.